sewing on a button. I'm using a bright red button so you can see what I'm doing, and dark thread. Obviously try and match your thread to your button if you can. This is one of the only times where I'll suggest you use a double thread. But again, don't make it too long or you'll get a knot in it and you just have to start again and it's completely pointless. Double up your thread, tie your knot in the end as discussed, using the using the knot technique I've shown you earlier. And then with buttons, you obviously find out where your button needs to sit, come through and have your knot at the bottom. Thread your button onto the thread, and then we want to come all the way through. So when we button a job, we do go all the way through to the other side. No one's ever going to see the other side, and also it just means it's more sturdy. So you come all the way through, and then you sort of want to go the width of your buttonhole on the back, if that makes any sense. So I know that my buttonholes are about that far apart. So what you end up doing is you push through your thing, and then you find that hole, okay? And you come back all the way through. Now, I would suggest for an adult, going through each hole 3 times and then crossing 3 times. For a child, you might want to do more because they're, children. Okay, so you come back through. Don't worry too much about what the back looks like. The most important thing is that it's not coming off. Okay, now I've got my thumb stuck under here. If you're sewing on a coat button or a cardigan button or anything like that, where the material's quite thick, you might want to stick your thumb under the button. This is called a shank. So you're holding the button a little bit away from the fabric. And what that means is that you've then got room at the end, and I'll show you. If you're sewing on a shirt button, obviously cotton is slightly thinner, so you don't need to worry about it. I would still recommend doing a shank, and I'll show you what that is in a second, because it just means the button is a little bit stronger. And it also gives you a nice place to tie off your knot. So we're going to come back through the 3rd time. There. And then we're going to cross. So we come back up into this buttonhole. So we go down. That's our first. Ooh. Second. 3rd. And this really is just practice. I know that's an annoying thing to say, but I do think the more you do it, the quicker it gets. Okay, so we've come through 3 times, and now I haven't come all the way out through the top. I've actually pulled it out through the side. So I've just gone through the fabric and under the button. And now what we're going to do is create that shank, which is by wrapping this thread round 3 times. And you see it's got that little layer of thread there. And what that means is it'll protect the threads that are actually holding the button on. Then we sew through our fabric at the bottom and we do our standard tie off. So we just go around 1, 2, 3 times, pull that through, and there you have your knot, all right? And then we just lose our thread. Okay? And there you have a button